I mean, from picks and bans right now, or bans right now actually, the Vault going to be the first ban on the side of surprisingly BoB, and Cerulean going to be the next ban for SG.
Yep, and last game it was swapped. It was TT banning Volek and BoB banning Cerulean, but they remain the priority bans. Neither team wants the other team to have them. And that'll be dibs again for BoB. Both Dalaran and Otzi can play him very well. So we'll see where that goes. It's a flex pick for now, so a good one to pick first. And not easily countered either.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just dominance again. The dibs is perfect. They could play it, like you said, anywhere. I know for a fact that 2C is so good on that dibs, knowing how to split push, knowing how to play it, and BoB actually just knowing how to play the dibs in general as a team so well. And I mean, Tyrese is stuck here now. They're stumped. Should they pick the Sakari? Because if I feel like if they don't pick the Sakari or if they don't pick the Makilla, one of the two are going to get insta-picked right after their next two picks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a McKellar pick here. I would be surprised to see Sakari. I don't think that TT favors that Shaper necessarily. Almost said champion there. I don't think they favor that Shaper. They're not much of a Sakari team from what I've seen. That may have changed since I haven't been following Dongate as closely recently. Okay, another
Oh.
Ashabel. So they prioritized Ashabel highly last time, and they want her again this time.
That's very interesting because I do know that Aziz is a very well-known Viridian player. I'm surprised that they're deciding to kind of stay with the Ashabel. I know Ashabel is pretty strong, but with regards to how the laning phase went, it didn't seem like Tyrese had much impact with their bot lane. Not really good ganks came out from it, and not just that, it wasn't even like the pressure was gone, especially because of the dips was there, making the farm so easy for Tootsie, sorry, to kind of get it. And I mean, it's a very interesting pickup with regards to it's good because you can kite backwards and do a lot of damage, but at the same time, with the dibs there, it makes it so easy for him to just keep up with you as well as just do the damage needed.
Yeah, and I think Evaniscus is in another tough position here. Dibs was taken by BoB. They're not going to want Zalgus because they don't have Volek. Well, actually, it may be too soon to say that. Zalgus might work well with somebody else here. But again, they're not prioritizing the supports. I think they may very well pick McKellar here.
I don't. Again, I'm not too sure. They are going to the last few seconds of this pick. I would agree with you. I'm pretty sure they want to pick the Makilla, but they would be revealing quite a bit, I must say. They're going to go with the Ronin
Ooh.
actually instead. Wow. I know that Tulsa had a really strong performance on Ronin twice, I'm pretty sure, against MIM. But at the same time, I feel as if that was a mistake leaving the Makilla up, unless they're thinking about banning the Makilla. But I mean, I don't see that as worthy enough ban because Tulsa could just go on something else like his Valerian or maybe even a Kensu, maybe.
Yeah, I don't mind it here. I think that they probably will ban the McKellar. If they don't ban the McKellar, then I do mind it. I think it's weird. But no, I think they will ban the McKellar. And Rust is probably the best Ronin player in Dawngate, so I certainly don't mind him on that Shaper.
Yeah, and I mean, now this is a tough situation for BoB. Either way, if they don't get the Sakari or if they don't get the Makilla, it's going to get picked up immediately, or banned actually, sorry, by Tyrese. But actually, Tyrese aren't going to ban the Makilla right away. I think they're thinking about this ban actually. Maybe they're thinking that Scrag had too much, too much fun onto that Koggin, or maybe the Desecrator was even a bigger problem. Very
Hmm.
tanky, a lot of damage was getting done after laning phase.
Yeah, and we have to keep in mind that that Desecrator could go to Otzi or to Scrag. So interesting here. I don't know how I feel about that Ronin pick now that they can't deny McKellar. Although,
Hmm.
actually, wait a second. They could go with two. No, that would be crazy. I was thinking maybe
No,
they could go Ronan and McKellar and have Tactician Azrael, but something tells me they're not going to do that. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that Ronan now,
they
but
could
we'll
go for the
see.
lane swap is something I'm thinking, but I would feel even worse, especially with the Ashabel. Putting constant pressure on the Ashabel when Ashabel is supposed to bully the AP lane is not really something you want to do. And I mean, there's a lot of kind of bans that BoB could do right now. They could ban Masco again. They could ban the Zuri, but I don't even think there's too much to worry about with their bans. It's kind of more the question of what person do we not want to deal with, and which shaper could possibly ruin our comp right now?
Yep, yep. And Sakari and Dibs, that's the beginning of a wombo combo there. If they can add one more to it, they might want to try to deny Cuss here, but it's going to be very difficult. Cuss has a large pool of shapers he can play very well. They could try to ban Calm. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to the last second. It's 0 seconds. Whoa. Okay, Bob. Bob,
They got to choose.
you
Now, of
gotta
course, that
choose.
timer is fake. It's just a placebo. It doesn't actually do anything. But I've never seen someone disrespect the timer here.
Wow, okay. I don't know what's gonna happen next, actually. Uh,
Hmm.
Bob is just kind of.
Oh, it's there's lag on MOBA Champion draft lag.
Apparently, there's
John,
such thing
please.
as draft like now,
That's
but
interesting.
I mean, okay, that's fine. I
They can
guess we'll
just do the
have to.
rest of the draft in the lobby, old school style.
They could do it old school style if they wanted to. If the draft room died, like Tulsa's saying right now, I mean, I guess that would be the best pick, or maybe they could actually just reset and just do everything that happened before.
I mean, they can just keep going as is. Uh, okay, Faris. Wow, that's weird. I wonder why they're banning Faris because from what I've seen, TT only plays Faris when they play Viridian. They do the Viridian Faris lane, double assassins, and we pretty much know that that Ashabel is going to be for Acid, so he wouldn't be playing Viridian. I guess technically they could put Evaniscus on Ashabel, and I don't know. That's a weird ban for me.
Yeah, I
Now,
I do
Cuss,
agree.
of course, also plays Faris, and he did play him in last week's tournament, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. New room? It looks like it's the same room here, based on what I'm seeing. It looks like they'll just be sticking with the same room here for now. So there it is, Faris ban. I mean, it's not a terrible ban by any means. There are three people on TT who do like playing Faris. Two of those people have not picked their shapers yet. Yeah, I don't mind it, I guess. So another pick for TT here. Chances are they'll picking two tacticians and a jungler. What part of their hand do they want to show here? I feel like they don't want to pick their jungler yet. They don't need to pick their jungler yet. Cuss can play almost anyone. I'd like to see them prioritize a tactician here. The question is who. Mara did not work out well last game, and it was largely because of Sakari walls. BoB has Sakari again. I think they don't go with Mara. Maybe they do pick up Calm here.
I'm not too sure actually. I'm gonna go look into this right now. It could be a possible comp. I know, again, like I was saying before, Evaniscus is a big comp player in my opinion, and it's a very big comfort pick.
I've seen Tyrese play a lot of Calm as well. He is a great Calm player, so wouldn't be surprised to see that. Wouldn't be surprised to see Amaranth either. Great engage potential on Amaranth, and Tyrese has had a lot of success playing Amaranth against BoB.
Yeah, and I mean, with regard to the Ferris ban is something I want to touch on. It's something that I can now talk about. So, as I was saying before, there was this one comp that was pretty crazy that my team tried in a scrim one time, and it worked pretty well, like I said. And that was a Ferris Viridian lane in the bot lane. And it's just because there's constant aggression in that lane, and I mean, you can't kind of stop that aggression. It's just ongoing right after they hit three. Two assassins in a lane, constantly with also the kill pressure. It's insane, but and it's more insane because Acids is a huge Viridian player, as well as the fact that his complete opposite, his lane partner, Taiga, is actually a huge Ferris player as well. So it was sort of something that could have gone in the works, but instead they decided to ban out the Ferris and pick up the Moya, surprisingly enough, on the side of Taiga. Or
Yeah, I actually, while you were away, I actually talked about that Viridian Cyrus lane, so the viewers got to hear that twice, but that's okay. And a Moya for Cuss. So Cuss is one of the best Moya players in the game. He and Scrag, probably the two best. But this game it'll be Cuss on Moya. And now BoB gets to pick two Shapers.
what do you
Now,
think these two shapers will be?
so I think that one of them will be Mikella, because BoB knows that TT knows that they're going to pick Mikella, so they might as well show that part of their hand. So it's going to be Mikella
It doesn't matter actually. They could
and
hide
somebody
them.
else.
They could just last pick the Makilla and pick something they feel more priority that they think that Tyrese is gonna pick up. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think you're right. They're gonna pick the Makilla. I will be very surprised if they don't again, or if they just wait to pick their AD carry last. Because for all we know, it could be something else that Tullis has in his back pocket.
Yeah, maybe so. I think they picked the Mikella here. Kagan, that's a flex pick. That could be for Scrag or Otzi, as we mentioned before. But yeah, I'd be surprised if Mikella didn't get picked right now. They may be discussing it. You know, they have 40 seconds to work with, but it would be a little strange to me if they showed their hand and didn't give themselves the option to counter pick. Although on the other hand, hmm. Yeah, no, it's. I think they picked the Mikella here. I think they saved the last thing for counter picking as many shapers as possible, and there it is, Mikella.
Yeah, and again, they showed such a dominant force with this comp already. It seems almost exactly the same like before, except there's going to be no Desecrator, no Cerulean for Tootsie, kind of the roots of where Tootsie began, I feel as if. But the dib is still a flex pick, we have to say. It could either be Dalaran on that dibs again, like we saw in game one, or it could be Tootsie and we could see somebody else go bot lane. I really actually do think that Tootsie is going to go with a Petrus, though. I have some mystical feeling that he's just going to pick a Petrus or a Basco for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, it's interesting. You know, Otzi could play Dibs, he could play Kagan, or he could play a third thing. So he has a ton of options here. If we look at BoB's team comp, so much Wombo combo potential. Like you said, it's basically last game's team comp minus Desecrator. Do they want something else that would lend itself to a Wombo combo? And there's
And
the
there's
com for TT.
And like I said before, it's a comfort pick for Evaniscus. Evaniscus finally gets a pick I feel as if he's more comfortable on. He can dash in, dash out, a lot more escapes as well as the root and the fears. Calm has a lot of CC, and I feel like that's just how Evaniscus likes it. He can go in and do the poke needed and get out very safely as well. So now it's all up to BoB. What do they want for this last pick? Are they going to pick for Dalaran, or are they going to pick for Utsi here? It's really to be decided, but I really do feel like they are going to choose for Utsi, and it's going to be something we haven't seen yet, other than maybe the first game. That's why I really do think it's Petrus, because he did whip it out one game, and it seemed to be very effective, in my opinion.
You know what they could do is they could have Otzi on Dibs, Scrag on Kagan, and Dalaran on Amaranth. He is a great Amaranth player, and that would lend itself very well to the Wombo combo strat. It's also worth keeping in mind that that com could be for Taiga as well. A great com player, so they might be leaving their options open with their two support players. Yeah, I would love to see Dalaran on Tactician Amaranth here, although they'd be pretty squishy with that. That would be the one drawback.
And as well, we also have to discuss how, oh, well, the cow, it is
Okay.
going to be Tootsie on that divs. I'm very excited now to see this. And something I did want to say that I was going to say, they are missing a tank. They could build Dibs tanky, but I feel like he's more effective with more damage items. And we're going to see Tootsie bring back the Gladiator Dibs split push method, I find. And now it's on the side of Tyrese, and now they got to decide who is their last kind of tactician going to be.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. Zeri did not work out. I wouldn't mind seeing Zalgus here for Evaniscus. They give the comm to Taiga, although, then again, they're squishy.
I feel like they're going to go with the Mara here. Mara is something picked by Evaniscus, if I'm not mistaken, they could put Taiga again, like you said, on that comp, and it does solve that bit of tankiness, but we also have to keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of poke damage in that top lane. And if Evaniscus wants to go back in that top lane, he's going to take a brutal beating from that Sakari and Michaela, and they're just going to have to be careful to not overstep too much, because who knows, McScrag could be ready in a bush with a hook.
You know who I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be Renzo for Taiga, and Calm goes to Evaniscus. That's my prediction. Renzo.
Wow, that's a very uh, bold. I would say it's really bold. Oh, whoa. The Flynn.
Oh, okay.
Wow, okay, I guess I don't really agree actually with the Flynn. I feel like Flynn is made for those comps that's complete tanky. Like you need that sort of armor pen or something, or you need that sort of tank yourself that's a one-man tank that can take so much damage. But I don't think that's needed really here. They only have Kel, they only have Cog in here. They do have Sakari, and I say she's really squishy. So I don't agree with this comp by Tyrese.
It's interesting. I mean, if they can get their CC chain going, combined with the Moya ult, that could be devastating for picks. They have pretty good AoE, Ronin ult, Ashabel, Calm, Flynn stun.
Yeah,
And Bob's team looking a little less sturdy for that Wombo combo with Kel instead of Desecrator, although of course Kel can set up a pick on a single target extremely well, and they were able to get picks in the last game.
And it's
Not to
not
mention
just
their dibs
that.
is going to be a lot more damaging.
Yeah, it's not just that. I feel like Kyle can still bring that wombo combo in. He locks somebody down. Coggin still has that hook. They bring all these people together in one place, and bam, Scariel goes down. Dibs empowers everybody, and then Tulsa just comes in for the cleanup. Just like Bob always kind of has it. They always have Tulsa ready to be in the mix. They send him to that solo XP. Yeah, do you know why? Because they want to get him big. They want to get him as big as can be and have as much kind of items all hit level 20 before everybody else. Get full items before everybody else. Why? Because Bob, yes, they do have faith in Tusi because Tusi is such a great player. Bob, everybody in these both of these games are in all these games in the Grand Invitationals obviously proved how well of teams they are. But I mean, these are the top two teams in my eyes. And right now, from looking at it, I feel as if just when it comes down to it, Bob always has their faith in Tulse. And I mean, again, giving Tulsa Makilla, it's very, very ballsy, I would say, just because when you have somebody playing on their most comfortable shaper, somebody who they would choose no matter what, I don't know. I'm lost for words on what to say.
Yep. Bob looking pretty sturdy here. PT is going to have to get something going with that Moya ult. That's going to be the story of this game. Both teams actually have great hard CC setup for a skill shot ult from their respective junglers. You have the Calm Eggs and Tentacles and the Flynn stun to set up the Moya ult. And you have Kel ult and knock up along with Sakari ult to set up the Cog and Hook on the side of Bob.
Yeah, and it looks like Bob is traveling as soon again, wanting to get some sort of pick, but now they know that they can't really do anything. Gonna go for those deep wards, kind of avoid all the wards actually from Tyrese. Oh, wait, no, Scrag actually is gonna get caught out by a ward, and it seems as if Bob sort of kind of got the positioning of Tyrese from their ward, and it looks like they're getting ready for a 1v1 fight.
This is interesting. It's 4v4 in the top lane. Yeah, both teams just disengage. And yeah, Bob needs to get out of there because they're close to the binding of TT. That's not a fight they want to engage on.
No, and yes, they do have that Sakari who has, I would say, the strongest level 1 in Dongate, but that you don't want to deal with a binding and by the end of that, and it seems like standard lanes again are going to be what starts. We're going to see Tulse put a little bit of damage on Fayrust, and at the same time, we're going to see, again, both junglers starting at that top half of the jungle. I'm suspecting that they might try, maybe not McScrag, obviously, but I feel like Cuss, sorry, is going to go for a gank right in this top lane early.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that ward seeing Scrag actually paid dividends there. It made Bob back off of that power buff, and it made Scrag start at armor, so his clear will be a little bit slower than Cuss's.
meaning he will be able to impact the lanes a little faster. And this looks a lot better already for Tyrese. They're able to kind of get the level 2 when they need it, but it seems like kind of Tootsie is kind of beating on Acid and Taiga, just being able to dodge all the skill shots right now.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage for OC and Dallin right now. They got double level 2 before the TT lane did.
And
nice stun.
At the same time, it's actually the junglers I want to pay attention to. It looks like they're going around for all their buffs, and they're probably going to meet up towards this bot lane, try to look for some sort of gank, but it will be in favor of Tyrese, not because of how the wards are set up, but because of how pushed in they are. And I mean, from that point, Tyrese could just go for an in-lane gank and possibly get a kill from there, but you never know until the actual action goes down, and it seems like, again, I feel like Cus is possibly kind of setting it up while he goes for his last kind of buff route right now.
And look at this, Scrag has skipped his power buff, and he's going to try to take Cuss's armor before Cuss gets there without TT even knowing, and he gets it. Great play by Scrag there, and only now does Cuss realize. Now the question is, will Cuss try to contest the power buff of Bob? I don't think so. I think Cuss just goes to Money Pigs and cuts his losses here.
Yeah, and there's not much he can do. I would still say that Dibs and Kel are a lot stronger in that kind of 3v3 help with the Kogan compared to the Ashabel and
actually,
the
look at this bot lane. Cuss actually is trying to contest that. Scrag pings it, and now Cuss needs to leave because, yeah, he's going to get cut off by the rest of Bob.
Yeah, that's very close to the binding. Very risky play by Cuss, but Cuss not really being able to do anything. Seems like wards are kind of just expiring right now, so it looks like they're starting to place their wards. Tall's just placed his ward topside, and it seems as if Bob is starting to probably place their wards. Craig still just farming up, same with Cuss, and I mean, again, I feel like this is just even lane matchups for both sides, and it's going to be exactly on the junglers to kind of make the impact needed right now.
Yep, and thus far, Scrag has out-jungled Cuss. Of course, it is early days, but 4 buffs to 2 in favor of Scrag.
And as well as we have to look at the farming as well. If we look at the farming, we see, like you said, actually Cuss is ahead of farm compared to McScrag, but McScrag is kind of making his way towards more effective routes, as well as if we look at the carries on both sides, we see that Tul's and for Russ almost dead even, 2 farm apart, and then Tootsie and Acid's only 4 farm apart. So again, very close game for both. Compared to that first game where it was non-stop action, this game's a little more quiet, but I feel as if once the first pair fight goes down, or that once the first gank goes down, it's gonna just go crazy from there.
Yep, and now the junglers are on opposite sides of the map here, so if there is a gank in the next couple of minutes, there will not be a counter gank.
No, there won't, and I mean, right now, any kind of kill or anybody getting low here could possibly call a para, and it looks like Cuss is gonna go from behind for a gank, and it doesn't seem like Bob expect anything.
Here we go, Kitten Storm slowing them down so Cuss can. Ooh, okay.
Oh,
wow,
and
they actually the minions are hitting
wow.
Taiga. Oh, but he pops a potion, he's gonna live. Wow, that was super close. Great play by Bob there. They do have to burn a blink though.
Yeah, and Lucy just waiting for that level 6. He wants to go on to Taiga, but they did ping it. This could be their chance to actually go for the pair. We see the rotation by Bob to go for the pair, and great timing, right? Or not even great timing, just nicely kind of done by Bob, knowing that sort of sense. But it looks like Tyrese wants to try to contest this.
Taiga looking a little clean around the gills. He can't get too close. Okay, and this time Bob does not get the parasite stolen. Really, really nice play there, and it was the play from the bot lane, OC and Dalaran turning that gank around and almost killing Tyrese that let them pick up that parasite.
Yeah, and I mean, just nice play and nice fast fingers actually from Tootsie there. Being able to dodge out of, I don't think he had his ult on the side. No, he did not have his ult, Cuss, so, but still, the stun, being able to dodge out on everything, all the CC needed to actually kill Tootsie, which is perfect. And then Taiga just getting so low. Great kind of awareness and presence by Bob, knowing that they could do that, and just from there, just take the para and get their gold lead as needed. And I mean, from there, it's usually the same story. BoB usually gets ahead, and they slowly get ahead from the well control, from their objective control, and the binding control, as well as some kills along the way.
Yeah, once that Moya Q whiffed, that gank was over. Now, of course, OT's blink is down, so Cuss has still about 4 minutes left to make something happen bot lane. Plenty of time, and he will be level 6 if he goes for it again. Frag just went back to buy. Look at his items. He's looking pretty big right now. Integrity, Conviction, Might. That's pretty monstrous for this early into the game.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, right now it looks like Cuss is actually going to try to go for a gank onto them. He does have ult, and Evaniscus is looking for the root and possible ult. He's going to miss it, actually, but Cuss is
That would have
still
been a
not
kill
going to
right
give away
there.
his position. It would have been a kill, but Cuss is not going to give away his position. He's still going to stay look for that possible kill. Tulse is getting near. Cuss is going to pick up Tulse. Now, it's going to be in the middle of for Russ. A nice ult actually by Arborist to just delay the inevitable though. And Tyree's going to pick up the first blood. Nice patience by Cuss there, knowing that he didn't have to reveal his position and he just had to wait for the perfect opportunity for Tulse just to move up a little bit more.
Yep. Really nice play there by Cuss, bringing it back for his team. Things now relatively even. And yeah, this is a big blow to BoB here. That wave is pushed to the binding and Tulse is missing out on that farm. It's a chance for TT to go back for free.
I'll get myself there.
And now they're pretty stacked as well.
But it looks like there's going to be a 3-man armor buff actually possibly right now, and Scragg's going to take it for himself, and there might also be well harassed possibly here. But I don't think they will be able to get any well harassed, sorry, just because of Acids is coming back in and Cuss is still in the wings.
Yep, nice job by Scrag capitalizing on that back timing from TT. That sheep. Dalaran tried to pop the dibs Q. Didn't quite land it.
And again, a constant action. If we look at the farm, we look at the items, it's still pretty close, I must say. Except for the fact that it is starting to kind of go in Tyrese's favor right now. 84 farm on Acids and 86 farm on for Rust compared to Tulse on 75 farm onto his Michaela there, and Tootsie 71 farm on his Dib. So it seems like the farm game is actually going in favor of Tyrese right now. Surprisingly enough, compared to last game, how, especially with Tulse, how his farm was monstrous, about 10 kind of creeps per second. That's about what we want to go for usually.
Scrag whiffs the hook. Ooh, that's tough. That probably would have been a kill there. Dalaran had his ult up. Tough break for BoB there.
Yeah, and it looks like Cuss is actually going to make him pay even more by trying to go for his armor, but his armor isn't up. So instead, he's going to just go for free, well-harassed. Arborist and Pulse might try to contest, though, but their binding is taking a lot of damage.
Yep. And oh my goodness, that gank on Tulse did work. Pretty far behind here, and now Cuss is coming in with his ult. Decides against it. Says, you know what, we're about to take this binding out anyway, and then I can go for a gank that's much less risky. Let me just take money pigs while you guys push that wave down.
Yeah, and McScrag on the other side of the map, he's trying to get some sort of pressure or something, but he's not able to get anything. And I mean, the nice turn by BoB there, top like just showing how strong they are, regardless of any kind of pressure. And the rotation actually by
This is going to be an ult from Dalaran? It is!
And now we see that the wall is actually going to stop him from escaping. Nice pickup, but a good ultimate by Cuss there. We see that the Asher Bell ult is going to go down for the zone. The Blink actually going down for Tulse to stay alive. And we see that they're still going for the re-engage for BoB. And Tyrese going to barely them out, especially Faye Rust. He is about a quarter health. And I mean, this is a free para in my opinion for BoB.
Yeah, wow. It's Tulse getting away from that Moya ult. Well played by him. And yeah, nice rotation from BoB to catch Taiga in transition there. And that is the strength of Kel. If you ult someone who's out of position, even if it's someone tanky, that person's pretty much dead.
Yeah, and again, a nice Sakari wall by Arborist there. Arborist just showing his strength on the Sakari. Why it should always never go into his hands because of how strong and how effective he can use the Sakari. And I mean, at this point, I don't even think it's Tulsa's Michaela, but instead, it's just everybody else, especially the Sakari. I feel like the Sakari is having the impact because of all the stuff you can do, the slow, the wall, the extra damage with her E depending on how many stacks of Q you have, as well as the nice lockdown, stunning almost everybody on the team up possibly. It's just too much for, I feel, Tyrese to handle, but again, it's very early in the game, and no team fights, no really big team fights, I must say, have happened yet, so we're going to have to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. Dalaran intentionally stopped attacking Taiga to give the kill to Tulsa. He knew Taiga had taken Tailwind and not blink. So great play from Dalaran there to give the kill to the carry.
Now just getting Tulsa ahead little by little. That is exactly what they need to do. And actually, it looks like possible lane swap is going down. Acids and Tiger are going to go towards this top lane. And it looks like Evaniscus and Rust are going to go towards this bot lane, not wanting to give Tuti any free sort of farm right now. And I mean, also the harass from Evaniscus is so good against Dalaran. And I mean, it's going to be a little harder now for this bot lane side to go, but Dibs is going to ult towards top lane right now. Arborist is going to pick up the kill onto Taiga. Cuss is going to get trapped, and it seems as if ultimate by Pulse is going to pick up Acid just barely, and that's going to be a 3 for 0, as well as a tower going down on the side of Tyrese, and BoB actually are going to probably rotate to this top well now.
What a huge swing. I mean, top lane, BoB's binding was one hit from dropping. Now they're going to take out TT's binding and rotate down the bot here, maybe catch Evaniscus and Rust. Evaniscus goes in. That may still doom for him here. He may not be able to get out in time. Ult from Dalaran. Okay, blink away from Evaniscus. Oh, blink! Flamethrower there. Nicely done from Scrag. And Rust, he can kite well on Ronan, but the question is how well. Scrag's going to loop around and try to cut him off. Rust wisely goes the other way, but I don't see him getting out of this one. Oh, wow!
Whoa!
Oh, he almost got away. Otzi burning his blink there again, and Rust, of course, will drop here, and the kill goes to Otzi. That's who they did not want it on. I do have to call out for that fight in top lane, which Smart Camera was following. Scrag, again, got a little out of position and drew the attention of TT, made TT focus him, got low, but didn't die because he's so tanky on that Cog, and it's a repeat from game 1. They're really blowing everything on trying to kill Scrag, and again, it's not working out.
And that's just the focus of TT right now. TT don't have the initial focus as before. They just see somebody out of position. They're like, we should go for this. We can blow them up. But they don't have the damage to do that yet. Asherbell, if I'm not mistaken, she only has one item. Yeah, she has a destruction right now. And I mean, that's not enough to take down a tanky McScrag, especially with the backup he has with Pulse on the Michaela. And again, the Sakari with the amount of lockdown she has. It's so not a smart idea by TT. And they're going to pay for it by getting slowly behind even more. And while wells are opening up, it may look like BoB actually are going to try to kind of make some moves for those wells, especially towards that top well right now with that binding down.
Yep, and Acid was flirting with disaster right there. If Dalaran's ult had been up, that would have been a dead Asherbell. However, they may not realize that Kell's ult is down. They're just backing away from that Spirit Well.
No, and it's not even just that, it's the fear in levels as well. You see McScrag level 13, you see that on top of that, Tulsa is level 13 as well, and I mean, even Sakari being level 11 is very relevant on the side of Arborist. So, I mean, if you look at the levels as well, level 11, level 10, level 11, that's not the levels they need. So the fear actually is getting in from the levels, and it looks like actually they're gonna, BoB's trying to look for this bot lane as well, and Strike gonna take the armor while they sort of play the waiting game right now.
Yep, they need to not get caught while Tulsa is walking down the lane here, but it looks like they won't. Scrag needs to play it safe, though. He doesn't want TT collapsing on him here, but Cuss not quite in position, so it looks like Scrag will be okay.
And as well, you also have to look at who has the stronger team fight at this point, who has the stronger items. And I feel as if that is on BoB's favor right now, and I don't think they want to risk a fight. Actually, they're going to go for the para instead. That's how confident they feel. That's how ahead they feel. And I mean, Tyrese is going to obviously try to kill him.
Yeah, this is going to be the fight that's probably going to determine the game here. Cuss is going to just look for a steal here. He's going to try to dash in and steal para. But they're just going to turn on to Cuss, actually. And it's going to be a full-on team fight. Para's just going to keep attacking throughout. Marbury gets shredded by the para. They're turning on to App, and he's going to drop here. And BoB is going to come out on top anyway. They're going to go for Taiga. He tailwinds away. But it looks like BoB is going to turn back on the para here. Cuss way out of position. He will not be able to steal. You got to assume that Scrag has Vanquish up for this one.
Yeah, and he does. He's going to be able to get this, especially with the zoning from Tulsa. Tulsa's going to try to pick up Evaniscus, but just 100 damage away from
can Dowler sheep in? No, I was about to say. I thought he might have sheeped in and gone for a W.
And right now, this is just the objective control from BoB. Like I said before, being known as a team that even if they're behind early game, they just have that objective control in the mid game, the late game. They will just tear a team apart slowly from the paras, from the wells, and from the bindings. The most important things I would say in this game. Yes, kills are nice. Yes, getting ahead is nice with nice rotations, but at the same time, you can't have that happen. You can't let your objectives be taken from you.
Yeah, I mean, BoB looking pretty healthy here. They're 4 capped. They've gotten Parasite. And once they back, they're going to be picking up some pretty big items here. Otzi going back now. Tulse has not gone back. Although, actually, Tulse went back before this most recent fight in the bot lane. Now it's TT. Trying to, excuse me. Had to sneeze, but it's TT looking to capitalize on BoB's back timing now. They will pick up 1 goal, so they're not 4 capped anymore. That's one thing to be happy about. Tull split pushing here. He wants to get even more farmed. They feel like they're not in danger, and they're not because Taiga is in base.
Yeah, and something I want to say as well is this is something BoB always kind of reverts to. Giving Tulsa that solo lane XP as well as solo farm is going to get him ahead, more ahead than Fade Rust right now. If you look 15 to 13 as well as items. If I'm not mistaken, yes, he's 2 items to 2 items with actually for Rust, so a little bit different, but the solo XP is very
Oh, God hook from Scrag! Acid disappears off the map. Oh, Cuss is going to try to make something happen, but he's too low. Tulse now rotating in from the top lane. He gets there before Taiga does. Taiga's going to ult, but I don't know how much that's going to accomplish. Scrag takes out Cuss. Taiga in the middle of everybody being tanky, but BoB wisely not getting baited into attacking Taiga and focusing the back line, just ignoring Taiga, which is what TT should be doing to Scrag, just ignoring him. So really heads up team fighting there from BoB, and they come out on top yet again. Oh! Ace from Otzi, 5 for 1.
And wow, this is going to be 2 bindings going down at the same time. Even probably even more from Pulse. Again, he's in that solo lane top. He does have the minions here with him as well. And I mean, it's going to be very difficult, I would say, for Tyrese to come back. He's going to go against pushing that top lane, which is good because Acids is up. So BoB is slowly going to take this advantage that they have and just kind of snowball from it. As you can see right now, it's very hard to ban out BoB, and again, I don't know what to really tell you. What do you think TET can do with regards to BoB banning them out, picking, maybe even counter picking them?
I question the banning of Volek right off the bat. I think that Volek has been a huge ingredient in TT's success recently. That Volek-Zalagas combo is absolutely devastating in teamfights. I would like to see them try to pick Volek if they could and prioritize that. I mean, I don't know what's more valuable. They've been prioritizing Ashabel very, very highly, and thus far it hasn't been working out for them.
And actually, an update, if I'm not mistaken, The third game is going down against RE and MIM, and for those of you that are interested, MIM is up 2-0 against RE, so they're going in for their third game over at Tractor. But I see an engage going down by Cuz. Cuz gonna pick out McStrike. McStrike is gonna get help from the wall, but isn't actually helping. He's getting taken down really low. A nice hook picking out 4, and I mean, Cuz is there. He's gonna pick up Arbors, but that doesn't matter. Cuz is still alive. Tuzi's still alive in this backline, but it looks like Tyrese are prevailing. Cuz's positioning there is going to actually kill him when he's trying to take out Acids, and I mean a 3-for-2 trade in favor of TT, and I mean, Tuzi's not done. He's trying to look for more blood, but I mean, Russ taking that well is exactly what they need, or the start that they need to get back into this game.
Yep, that's what they needed. They needed a favorable engage like that, and really nicely done there by Cuss, drawing a lot of attention from BoB. And Cuss is so good at just soaking up a ton of damage as Moya and dashing away at almost no life. He's done it in so many tournaments, and it's worked even against BoB. And he shows off his Moya skills there again.
And it looks like BoB are pinging the Parrot. I think they're going to go for one more Parrot, and this Parrot actually could decide the game. If they really wanted to, I feel like they should just wait the minute and a half just so Parrot has that less kind of evolution where they get the Striders and they can push to win at that point practically. So I mean, we just need to kind of see, but instead they're deciding to kind of go for the Parrot. Oh no, they're not. They're gonna go for possible wards, maybe.
Yeah, critically, you know, that fight went TT's way because Scrag got caught way out of position, but it's worth noting that Tulse still is a full item ahead of Rust, or almost a full item ahead.
As well as 2 levels still ahead. If you look at the levels as well, they are pretty ahead in levels. If you look at their lowest level, which is Taiga's level 13, to the lowest level on BoB, which is Arborist level 13. But other than that, the levels across the board are pretty much in favor of BoB, and it looks like BoB is looking to engage onto Cuts. Actually, Cuts getting caught out. Evan Niskus looking for something from Sakari is going to catch a all 3, but it looks like the fight's going to go in favor. A nice kind of engage onto Russ there is going to put the fight into BoB's favor, and TT are on the escape now. Arbor is keeping Cuss busy, while the rest of BoB is going to chase Evan Niskus and Acid. They're all so low right now. Uzi is going to pick up 1 kill. Is he going to pick up the next kill on Evan Niskus? I don't think he will, but that's going to be a trade for BoB. 3-for-0. As well as the pair are going to get picked up here. Again, that's going to be Strider pair. 25 minutes now just hit. And I mean, I can't see TT coming back from that now. Once BoB goes back, heals up, gets their item, they can push for the win, I'm pretty sure here. Tul's actually going to pick up Cuss. Wow.
Cuss tried to steal that Parasite at the very end there.
Wow.
And he got taken out. Desperate attempt from Cuss there at the very end. I guess he had to try, but oh man, this is a rough situation for TT here. I'm not sure what they can do at this point, and they're actually going to chase after Evan Niskus. Evan Niskus might have just spelled nothing there. Stun catches down, or he's tanky. He's probably going to be able to sheep away here, or actually no, he sheeps down, he will fall. Maybe he had it and was trying to go over the wall. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm out of the habit of clicking on people to see their cooldowns. Oh boy! Oh wow! Evan Niskus?
No, he's not. He's gonna be about 100 damage away from killing Evan Niskus. And wow, it looks like BoB is actually on their retreat there. Or no, they're gonna go for bot lane actually. Push out these minions. My apologies. And they're gonna kind of just push their lead.
No! Oh, nice play by Rust there, juking a little bit to avoid the stun from that Sakari ult. I do have to call out from that last fight, Otzi did such a great job ulting in and landing a 2-man Q. Then Tulse went in with the Mikella ult, and TT did a great job of juggling the coins, but
that's very
one of them did fall.
Cuss.
Oh boy. Cuss looking for the engager. Oh, Otzi is probably in trouble here. I don't see him getting out of this one.
The tailwind's gonna go down. A nice flank by Tuzi. McScrag is still in the mix there. Asher Bell also gonna go down. The shield's gonna tank it up. McScrag actually getting blocked by his own team member. And Russ is gonna pick up 2 kills. and this is going to be huge. Pulse is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Furus. We see Pulse ulting now, and it's just Dalaran and Tulse against 3 members, or 4 members, sorry, of Taiga, and I don't think these 4 members of Taiga can really do much.
Oh man, and they're going to go after Tulse as well. Moya ult is up here. He wants it on Tulse. He does not want to get Dalaran. Okay, he backs off because Dalaran was body blocking. Good job by him, but this is now the second throw of the game for BoB here, getting caught out of position again, and it's the second time in these grand finals that Arborist has trapped Scrag with his walls, and this time it did not work out. So
now
BoB,
at this point, I can't tell if
was
it's a troll.
You know, BoB was basically celebrating early. You know, they were talking in chat, they were feeling good. You know, not that the tournament would have been over if they had won this game. It's the best out of 5. That's 3 out of 5, but, you know, they were feeling good, and DT, they had the eye of the Taiga, you know what I'm saying? And they stayed in it.
They did,
and they got picks.
I don't know, I do actually kind of feel like Arborist is sort of trolling McScrag, be like, yo McScrag, I got you. But Dalaran's actually going to go for the engage on the 3, checking them out. Nice Ikari ult by Arborist. Tootsie's going to go in the back line towards Ash is not going to live anymore. And the disengage from Ivanisk is going to try to get all 3 members off Taiga, but instead they're going to keep on the chase. Taiga, I do not see you escaping here. Try to get Tootsie, but Tootsie is going to survive. McScrag going to pick up that kill. And that's just going to be BoB's kind of, I say, way in of the base. 40-50 seconds on 2 key members, or all the members on Taiga are pretty key, but on 2 members they could push the base if minions were actually in their favor though.
Yeah, that was a reverse throw there, a big time overstay. Dalaran face checking 3 like a man, but it paid off when OC showed up.
And I don't know what to say. It looks like it's back and forth. It looks like these best of 5s are getting to them. Yes, they both had to play 2 games before this. Yes, they only played 1 more game, but it seems like this 4th game is getting to both of these people, or both of these teams and these players, and I don't know what to say. I guess next pair is up. This is kind of what they want from both sides, mostly from BoB's side, and TT are going to have to react to this. There is about 40 seconds though on it, so there is enough time for members to go back and get ready for this.
Yeah, and a troubling sign here for TT. Pulse, level 20 and 4 full items. This is where things start to get hairy when you're playing against the Michaela. Very, very difficult to play against that if you can't get a catch on her.
And it looks like actually TT are going to be the first ones there. They're going to try to get something actually right now. Oh, wow, they're going to catch out Arborist. Arborist is going to get broken pretty low. He's going to ult to try to survive. And now Tootsie's going to have to ult away. He's going to actually get taken down by Furus. And a nice sort of kind of rotation by TT, being able to get to the para first and get the kind of damage needed. The ward was just enough to let TT know they're going to be here, they're coming, and now we can get this para. This is something BoB should not contest. They are 2 men down 1, and as well as the fact that they can't contest, they're all so full, they're full health, full members on side of TT, so they're just going to have to let this go and try to do something else, maybe try to go for a pick or something, but in the end, BoB still has those 4 spirit wells, so gold's going in their favor, I would say still, but they just are having a little bit of trouble kind of rotating them around the map like they did in the early game.
Yeah, it's so many back and forth swings this game, and we talked about it in draft when we saw TT's team comp. We said they need to get picks this game if they want to win, and they're getting picks over and over and over again, and now this game is pretty close again.
It seems like BoB is kind of making a little bit positional mistakes. Again, I do not know if it's because it is the 4th game, the games are getting to them, but I feel like both teams have played a lot of games in a, not even in a series, but in general in a tournament. And now actually they're looking to catch out on Cuss, but Cuss isn't going to be able to leap away. That is a Moyas. And now they're going to take a well. It seems as if, again, things are going in favor of TT right now, and I feel like BoB just needs to kind of get away from this aggressive style that they're playing right now and go to a more passive style, but Cud's gonna land a stun onto 2, a nice wall and ultimate by Arborist to kind of catch her too. Uchi going in the back to actually take down for Rust. Now the fight is in favor of BoB, and Pulse is actually caught out. Cuss is gonna lift him up in the air. Scragg's gonna be right there though. A nice blink by Tulsa to get out. Cuss is getting blown up. Taiga is in the mix and Acid's still alive. Now McScrag gonna try to pick up a kill onto Cuss while Acid's gonna try to go in the back line. And nice pickup by them. Dollar and barely escaping, and Scragg's gonna pick up a kill onto Taiga. And that's gonna be a 3-for-0 now on the side of BoB. Fantastic play by them. Arborist got caught out. Yes, Arborist and Dollar and actually got caught out, but it was a nice kind of all-in wall by Arborist that kind of got them stuck. And then from there, Tuzi was able to go and blow up for their main source of damage, and the fight kind of went in their favor based off that. Acid's winning alone in the back line against 3. Yes, they were all low, but there's a lot of CC and a lot of damage in that back line, while McScrag was doing a nice job zoning off 2 of the members of TT. And I mean, now it looks like they're looking to push in now on the base of TT.
That was such a crazy fight. At one point in the fight, I felt like it was TT's fight to win. Cuss had ulted Tulse, but then Cuss, I think he misclicked. He didn't reposition with the ult, and he just dropped Tulse right where he was, and Tulse was able to E back to the safety of his team. I feel like if Cuss had ulted Tulse into his team, Tulse would have dropped even with the E, and that would have swung the fight in TT's favor. There was also a weird glitch, I think, where Dalaran was queuing away with his sheep, and he got knocked back by Arborist's E, and then continued going to his sheep after that. Really weird stuff, but yeah, BoB outplaying TT in that team fight.
And now it looks like TT's on the back heel. Yes, they do have strategies, but if I'm not mistaken, Para is going to be up again pretty soon, about a minute almost. Minute and a half about. And I mean, this is something BoB needs. They can't get caught out in this next kind of minute or so, or else that's going to be a free pair over to TT again, and this could actually be the end of the game towards the end, and a more lengthy kind of game compared to the first game. 34 minutes compared to, I believe it was 30 minutes before.
Yeah, this game has been nuts, back and forth the whole time. And yet, things are still pretty close here. BoB is ahead, but it's TT who's being aggressive and pushing toward BoB's base.
Like I said, it's kind of counter-ish of what it was from the beginning. BoB being aggressive early, and TT just taking it. Now it's BoB just taking it, and TT being aggressive early. But no wards from BoB in the right spots, I would say, may get them caught out. They have no wards in their jungle, so they could get very easily caught out by TT if they do not have a Flask of Insight. And I mean, right now also TT is getting back in the game by taking the wells and getting the items they need. So yes, BoB was able to deny them getting wells earlier in the game and middle in the game, but now since it's getting more later in the game and TT has the pressure with Striders still, they're able to kind of take those wells and get the Vim needed to probably finish their last few items. So now it's a almost full item team versus team, and now it's just mechanics and
What
team
is
fight.
this? TT wrapping around behind. They're on BoB's side of the map. BoB is pushing for TT's turret, but they're going to be trapped in between the turret and TT here. This is crazy. BoB looping around into the blue jungle here. And we got a Mexican standoff. No team wants to engage into the other one. BoB doesn't want to get scooped up by Cuss, and TT doesn't want to get hit by Sicario and Kaganult, and they both just kind of back off. That was tense.
And it's not just that, it's the wall by Sakari. This is why Sakari's such a strong fish. She has nice kind of map control, especially with her walls and her ult. And now they're going to go for this straight para. They just out-rotated TT here. And now this is the fight TT might need, but BoB is taking this para pretty low.
Oh, and they take it. Wow, the walls from Arborist prevented the contest there from TT.
Again,
Oh,
the
man.
power of Sakari, the wall, the slows, the stun, and her ultimate is still sort of a block in her own. It's their own wall, as well as the fact, if you look at it, BoB had the nice rotation there. Yes, TT had the good thought of going behind them, but BoB saw it, so they rotated around, and perfect timing by them. Para just came up. TT did not notice this until BoB was about halfway down with Para, and they're like, oh no, we're on the wrong side of the map now. And now it seems like it's in BoB's favor. They have the Striders, they have what they need to finally crack the base of TT, and they just need to survive long enough to get to TT's base and possibly try to break down one of those towers.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be tough for TT now. BoB got power, and if you look at the items, Tulse sitting on a full item build. Tulse is so big right now, and I know that's what she said, but nonetheless, it's going to be very difficult for TT to deal with that Michaela.
Yeah, indeed, and something, again, I want to point out is we have to look towards the map right now, and it's slowly going in BoB's favor. Two Striders in each wave, as well as the fact that spot lane, they're just going to lead the slow push. TT's gonna be split up throughout this whole thing, and I feel like BoB's gonna have the siege needed to at least take down one of these towers and get in the base.
They have pretty good wave clear. I mean, from Tulse alone, he has a fade on him. Those TT minion waves aren't gonna last long at all, especially with the Striders coming from BoB.
And now it looks like they're going to rotate towards this bot lane, but instead Evaniscus is going to be able to do a nice job clearing. TT making nice rotations actually, but BoB taking down the top lane tower, not scared to tank those binding shots if needed.
This may be a big moment here. I would like to see TT back off of this and not fight here. Instead they engage. We'll see if it pays off. Cuz going in, he's drawing the attention. Tulse almost dies, has to blink away. Cuz once and he scoops him up. Baby snatched. Is he gonna die? Oh my god! Gallardo face poke! Clutch play from the Kel legend. Scrag will drop to Rust in the meantime. And it is gonna be, ooh, a 2-for-1 in TT's favor. So actually not worth, but they do critically save Tulse so they can continue to siege if they want, at least for a little bit.
And it's not even just that, it's their AD carry still alive, so they have some sort of pushing back potential. And I mean, great draw from TT in that fight. Cuss did what was needed. As well as Taiga, they were able to kind of just go in the back line, just blink and do whatever they needed to do. Got in the back line and was able to get Tulse out of the fight. From there, Dibs was alone because everybody else from BoB was just, we need to protect Tulse, we need to save Tulse. Tulse is the main priority. And from there, like I said, Uzi was by himself all the way in Taiga's team, Tyrese's team, and from there, he just got blown up 1v1 against for Rust. And I mean, a great play by Tyrese. They have those summoners down though, however, they need to be careful, especially since that top lane tower is so low now, and more Strider waves are coming, and it's just a matter of time before they're able to kind of use this para more effectively. But again, another para play is going to happen in another minute.
Yeah, this is such an entertaining game, and actually the longer it goes on, the more it's going to favor TT because Rust is going to catch up to Tulse in items. That said, there probably will be at least one more fight before that happens.
Yeah, and not just that, it's also the fact that I just can't believe I feel like D-Man now. I cannot believe, but I can't believe how long this game is going on. 40 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, the longest Dota game in history was 45. So we're close to beating the record, guys. Let's go to a 16-minute game, make a new record before the Dawn Gate closes. But I don't know. It's so back and forth, but I do agree with you. TT does have the Ashe build. They have the Moya. They have the Flynn, which I really want to highlight. Flynn is very important, and the Ronin. Michaela will fall off compared to Ronin when Ronin has more items, and as well as Dollar, and I feel like the Flynn will be more useful than Dollar and Kel, and from there it's just going to be, again, based on mechanics.
Holy shit! Game over! That was incredible. BoB went for the reach around, wrapped all the way around the map. Gigantic Kagen ult into Sakari ult for the follow-up. That's the dream Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. That's McScrag on Kagen. And that's GG.